Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, episode 174 of Splash Cast Monday Night Raw. I'm your co-host, Reggie.
I am your co-host, Norwood. Our powers combined, we are your HBCU homeboys. Thank you for sharing your Monday night with us or your Thursday morning with us. Either way, have a seat, enjoy yourself. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all like, follow, and subscribe, first off. And then, as well, go and listen to the pregame. We saw some elite skating that gave us a little bit of nostalgia. Jake Paul is beating up on old black men again, or is planning to. And then
Reggie
Magic
said that,
Johnson
not
gets the.
me.
It, I didn't say anything wrong, did I?
No, he's also getting old black men paid tons of money. So
What that sound like to you?
even swap ain't no swindle where I come from, baby.
That's you think cool. And then Magic Johnson is getting the Medal of Freedom. So those three things were fantastic. Great discussion, especially about Magic. Um, with that being said, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. How you feeling, brother?
I am recovering. Little ginger ale in the cup today. That's it. Taking it moment by moment over here, bouncing back.
Not
But I'm feeling
ginger
good. What
ale.
about you?
Oh man, I'm cool, man. You see, I see we both have made the transition to the Atlanta Hawks. It is officially Atlanta Hawks season for us
I have
anyway.
self-respect. I'm gonna find my self-respect.
uh, did a couple videos. Y'all make sure y'all go like some of those videos where I talked about the Falcons game on Sunday. Kind of talked about a little bit. I didn't really go deep into the bag, but I did a little bit of what we need to do moving forward. But we're gonna have that discussion in depth tonight. But before we get there, we always got to cover our HBCU news around the culture. We are, as Norwood likes to call you, our HBCU homeboys. So we try to cover as much of the HBCU information as we can. We do it soberly. We try not to drink during this segment. We try not
Oh,
to,
I'm gonna do everything sober today. Let me tell you. I don't
but
need to see Crown, and Crown don't need to see me.
but what I'm saying is we really take this seriously. So, with that being said, let's start out with our news around the culture. Deshaun Jackson, if you know, he has been. If you follow HBCU news, you already know. Um, Deshaun Jackson is the new head football coach of Delaware State University. He delivered a welcome speech during the Lady Hornets basketball game, basically saying, "We're going to turn this thing around." And I mean, he's already starting off tough. He's already got 5 transfers. I mean, Deshaun out here, I think, is galvanized the fan base, which is what they've tried to do at Delaware State.
Yes, for me, the thing that I think is really smart here, number one, he comes right on in at halftime and says we're gonna turn this thing around. But I think that the perception of who he is and his lack of coaching experience, he wasted no time. Let me get right in front of this. Hey, we're gonna turn this thing around. We're gonna make this winning program. We're gonna be better as a team. And I think that him being proactive like that is the right step. Don't wait until football season. Don't wait until the spring. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys get eyes on me now so that we can be comfortable going into the spring. And I think it's gonna be a lot more comfortable, specifically with the transfers that he's already made. I think it's at 5 or 6. He hasn't wasted any time, trying
He's
to
at
make
5
moves.
transfers, man. Kobe Boykin from Jackson State, who just won the Black National Championship, uh, played pretty well. Well, has been in line at Jackson State, so him coming over there is good. Torian White from UConn/JUCO, another DB. Elijah Payne, got to get O-line from Arizona. Derek Boyd, running back from Hawaii, and Luke Jackson, kicker from East Texas A&M. So he's already been in the portal, and again, the great thing about the portal is it is definitely evening a lot of the playing field.
And also, not pictured here, but Antonio Gates Jr., son of Antonio Gates, Hall of Fame tight end, is also transferring from Michigan State to Delaware State. So it's actually 6 uh, players that have transferred, and that's a way to start. You're doing everything to be in front of, hey, who's this young guy wearing gold chains who used to play for the Eagles? And to no, I'm a head football coach. My plan is to come here and win football games.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, they see him as a relatable. Well, I know that's what Jackson State hired him for, because they see him as he'll be able to relate to the students, and the student athletes, especially in this climate. I do issue a challenge to all HBCUs that are embarking in this NIL era. We've seen the NIL, that if you are not doing your due diligence, how it can be a hindrance instead of a tool. Make sure that we're partnering with some of our other Black financial analysts, financial planners that are doing a lot of work with student athletes to explain to them everything that's going on when it comes to NIL contracts, when it comes to all of those things. So, yeah, just wanted to
Yeah,
make sure that we do
and
that.
one more thing is we've seen, and me and Reggie have talked about it once again. I love how when people meet me, they like run into me, talk to me, they want to pod a little bit. And the NIL thing has balanced the scales, at least for the time being. There's a lot more parity across the board because there's no stockpiling of assets. So we have to do our best to make sure that we have enough assets to get the assets that are needed. If you don't do that, you're going to take yourself right out of it. And Delaware State, I challenge you guys, I charge you guys to make sure that you're financing, funding, and supporting him in a way where he can field a team. Because if you do it right, it's proven that you can kind of get what you need.
You definitely can get what you need. Um, yeah,
In a way
yeah.
that you just uniquely haven't been able to get athletes in the past.
Yeah. And I think it'll be a feather in everybody's cap if you're teaching them financial literacy while giving them the money, so that they can then see, one, their parents are more comfortable sending them there and giving them amount of money, and they understand and can kind of, the more you know, the less you are to get in trouble, the less likely you are to blow your money, the less likely you are to use it or get hustled. You know what I mean? So
Right.
these agents are out there. They're preying on young kids. So make sure y'all are doing y'all thing, man. That's all.
And as far as black businesses, find a way to get involved. The guy, I can't think of his name right now. He's in Richmond, Virginia, who makes all the suits for Ryan
Hamptons.
Clark. Is that where? Okay, he's somewhere in Virginia, but yeah, he does all the suits for Ryan Clark. But he also sent Hampton some suits, so that when they travel, they can look professional. They can look like everybody else, and it's just It's there are a multitude of ways for you to get into that, be a part of that, and support us and support our people.
100%. 100%. So shout out to him and Mike Vick. Moving on, man. So Shaw football program, we reported last week that Shaw actually found their coach, which was a new old coach. Greg Ruffin was there during the revival season of 2002, and he led them to a 7-3 program. But he actually will not be returning to Shaw in Durham this year, citing health issues, as he has to back off his commitment of being the next head coach of Shaw. So now they are looking for another head coach. We do want to send T's and P's to him, because we don't
100%.
know what we don't know what the health
What the
issue
health
is, nor
issues
do we
are?
need to know. But
Nope, not our business.
yep. So shout out to T's and P's to Greg Ruffin.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is, man. We hope you whatever you're going through, you get through, and you better on the other side for it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um,
We not like the rest of these outlets. We mind our business. We respect people.
I guess so. Yeah, we do, to a certain extent.
I do. Jeez. Reggie like,
Hey
get
man,
it how you
sometimes
live, baby.
still got to be reported. Our next thing is the transfer portal. So the transfer portal, while it is a asset for kids to go from Division 1 to 1AA, FBS to FCS, all of those things, um, there's also movement within conferences and within really within divisions, and you're starting to see that at HBCU level. You've seen it now at the SEC level. You've seen it at every level. Um, part of the there we go. Part of the thing or gripe that a lot of people have with the transfer portal is there's no rules about where you can transfer. So when the old transfer portal, you couldn't transfer from like an SEC team to an SEC team and they wouldn't allow you to do that. You could go to ACC, but you couldn't go from like a Big 12 to a Big 12 or a Big 10 to a Big 10 or whatever. You had to change conferences and it had to be approved. Now, it's a contract. And once the contract is up, they leave and go to the portal and can go wherever. I say all that to say we covered quarterbacks Xavier Tissett for Southern University. Freshman, played 10 games this season, threw for 941 yards and 6 touchdowns, but ended up being replaced as the starter as they were searching for their quarterback. And I believe the starter came from Atlanta, another freshman. So he has now entered the transfer portal and has announced that he's going to the rival of Southern, which is Grambling State University. Big deal. If he goes to Grambling and then comes back and beats Southern, that'll be big news. Big news.
Yeah, it's just. It's the same. I assume this is the same way that you feel is how I felt about Trevor Etienne leaving Florida, going to Georgia. Not only staying in conference, but I think Etienne is probably even worse because he was probably the best offensive player you guys had. But just
hard to say that. But
just
yeah, I mean,
transferring in conference to your biggest rival. Anytime you do that, that's gonna get you moans, groans, looks, and now they're gonna. It's not like this game isn't always circled on the schedule, but there's just more emphasis. Hey, I was playing alongside that guy just last year.
Yeah, I do think that it's going to go into the buddy aspect of sports, which a lot of people don't like. Because, you're going to have a lot of friends, a lot of, everybody twin or brother. You're going to have a lot of friends and brothers on that side. And he's from South Louisiana. So, it's not like, I'm sure he's got family in North Louisiana too. So, this just adds fuel to the fire. And until college football gets a commissioner and it reestablishes the rules, you're gonna have this all the time. So it is what it is in my book.
Don't get a commissioner. Y'all weren't interested in having one before and coming up with all these rules. Let these kids get paid. Infinite wealth. Ball out.
They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that too.
That's the reason I'm being facetious. That's what my mother would call it.
Nah. You telling the truth though.
Oh, for sure.
But it is what it is. In other news, so the last one is Mississippi Valley State receiver, all SWAC receiver, Nate Rimbert is actually going to Jackson State now, and is going to Jackson State. He had 1,000 yards, 1,038 yards, and 4 touchdowns, which is impressive because they only had one win, right? So he had 1,000 yards on a team that only had 1 win, and
right.
And he's now going to the literal rival. Same thing as Southern and Grambling is Mississippi Valley State and Jackson State. Yep. You could probably throw Alcorn in there because they have three schools, but we're too young to remember Mississippi Valley State being good, but y'all do remember Jerry Rice went there. So
right, correct. And that offense was, I think, one of the most high power or the highest power HBCU offense possibly ever. They were unstoppable. But for me, Mississippi Valley State, you guys, I know it's a tough situation, but you're going to take a lot of these losses until you get more money. And if I'm Jackson State, that's all I'm doing. I'm waiting towards the end of the season. I'm seeing whoever your best players are, and I'm taking them.
So you say that. Okay. I'm going to bring this up now. You said they need more money.
Shoot.
They're raising money to go, and I think they've raised enough money to go to the inauguration. If I'm not mistaken, I think they will actually be there. I'm pretty sure they're getting paid at least something. When you said they need money, would you have taken that money to go to the inauguration?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely not. And I think that if you really pushed it, people would have paid you the money. I told you, I would rather them get paid to stay at home. Also, I'm gonna put this out there, Jerry Rice. You gotta go home. You gotta do something. You have
with the school?
Yeah, you got to do something. And one thing I will give Jerry is an excellent 49er. He makes sure that he's there regularly. And yeah, you got to go to Mississippi, bro. You need to show up. I'm not asking you to coach. I'm not asking you to be on the staff, but you need to be visible in a way to uplift your alma mater.
Yeah, if you're an alma mater of any HBCU, you should try to make the HBCU good enough to where you would want your kid to go there. In every aspect, sports, academics, culture, life, any type of things. So I challenge that to everyone that has those resources, but specifically those that graduated from those alma maters that have more resources than others.
Yeah, and you just know that they need it. They just need it. And you're the man there. And that's what happens, to varying degrees with being the man at your university. That's the reason we go back to homecoming. That's the reason we donate. That's the reason when we have these alumni associations, community service things, you got to go back because the school did a lot. The school did way more for you than you did for it. Now, do as much as you can to pay that forward.
Definitely. Well, folks, we've come to the end of HBCU, I believe. We are going to take about a 5-minute break, and we are going to then talk about, well, not 5 minutes, I'm sorry. 2
Oh, wait. One more thing. I know that y'all remember we talked about Chinnisberry taking over at South Carolina State as their head coach. Correct. Their athletic director had to step away from the school, and Buddy Pugh popped up and is going to take over and be their interim athletic director. Is not a person more qualified in the world. I appreciate it. We appreciate it culturally. And that's what it's about. Hey, y'all need me? I got you. I can do it, at least for a little bit. And I mean, maybe this is something that he wants to do, like moving forward. Just because you're not football coach every day, you might want to be the athletic director. And I mean, he has an immense respect and love for that school, clearly. That really meant a lot to me to be like, oh, no. Y'all need help? I'm right back.
Man, y'all go ahead and build that man a statue if y'all haven't already. Build him a statue and courtyard and you already named the field or the stadium after, I think it's the field. Like, go ahead and build him a statue. Name the athletic building. I'm sure y'all getting athletic building. Give him a road. Give him something. Because he has literally been there my entire life. Matter of fact, he's been there.
Correct.
So, and if it wasn't him, my grandmother, a lot of our family went there. So we know his father. Right. We know everybody that went there. So definitely build that man a statue. But ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to I can't believe I missed that. We have now come to the end of the HBCU.
That's why you got me, baby. HBCU homeboys take care of it.
We are going to go to our college football segment. Give us about 2 minutes. We'll talk about the quarterfinals, and then we'll preview and pick the game for the semifinals as well. Y'all stay tuned.
Wait, hold on. What should they do? Like, follow, subscribe. Thank you, my friend. Be in for it.